Hey, this is Brian Wright again. I'm coming to you pretty early in the morning. Nice cup of coffee, a little bit of guerrilla video here. I know the quality's not the best, the sound's not the best, but hopefully my message is strong enough to keep you engaged. So, something I talk about to myself and to other people in my industry is one of the biggest issues that we get as professionals is that we speak to ourselves in our marketing. You know, you speak to somebody as if they're in the know, as if they have, a lot of years of experience. For myself, I have 30 plus years of experience in my industry between training, competing, working with people, running a business, whatnot. So if I'm speaking to myself, I'm going to miss a lot of the little things that my potential customer, my customer base, who I'm marketing to, is going to be looking for. So in a lot of ways, I don't want to disrespect my customer base, but in a lot of ways you have to treat them like they're a child that you got to hold by the hand and drag them down the path. Because when it comes to what you do, the majority of your customers are going to be children in regards to that. They're going to have limited experience with what you've got. So you've got to remember what it was like that first time that you got involved. So, in martial arts terms, you have to have a white belt mentality all the time, no matter what. So you could be doing this for 30 years, but if you approach each day like you're a beginner, you're open to the new ideas and everything that'll come along, because the minute you start thinking you know everything is when you stop listening. So for us as marketers of our businesses, we have to speak to our customers truly as beginners, and we do have to respect the fact that they don't know that much and that what we've got is worth explaining to them, basically. So you can't assume, you can't speak to yourself. As a fight coach, a big problem is you speak so much about fighting that you miss the benefits of daily training. And then also you'll miss the certain key factors that fighting has that non-competitive people you don't miss. Like a big thing that I say is the biggest misconception for people when it comes to fighting is they assume because we train athletes in our gym that it must be extremely difficult and everybody's beating themselves up and everybody must have cauliflower ear, missing teeth and all that kind of stuff. And I laugh and I'm like, you've got to look at it. Anybody that's doing something physical for a living, you got to look at them like they're a doctor. A doctor's hands and how a surgeon's hands, let's say, a surgeon's hands, how they make their living. And so for a fighter, it's the same thing. If a fighter breaks his hands, or if he breaks his feet, or if he gets his head rocked too many times, he doesn't have the ability to make a living anymore. So we have to train in a very scientific, progressive way that touches on everything that an athlete has to touch on to be successful in their endeavor, and we have to do it in a way that's not going to be limiting their ability to perform when they need to. So we actually train in a safer environment than a school that is what I call a theoretical teacher, someone that's never really done anything with their martial art except teach what was taught to them, and it's never really been pushed. There's a whole nother argument on that one, but a lot of it is what I call like the non-contact traditional arts. It's all theoretical stuff. The majority of those people have never actually employed what they do in a way that's going to show them do they know or not know their craft. And for us that are in professional combat sports, that teach professional combat sports, we know exactly if our stuff works or not. You can see it in our win and loss record. You can see it by the effectiveness of our athletes. So for me, again, I can't ignore the concerns of my customer base and speak to myself and say, wow, I have a lot of guys, they win, we're successful, great, done. No, you have to go deeper into it, and you have to explain the process, and you have to explain why the process is going to be beneficial, and you've got to really get deep into what the process has done for you personally, what it's done for your athletes personally, because at the end of the day, the best real way to market your business is to market yourself and your experience and your personal growth and your dreams and aspirations that you've achieved and the things that you've benefited outside of the gym in your life and whatnot. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you really are pushing yourself and your experience. I tell everyone that sells from me, you cannot sell something that you do not do. So if you train in my kickboxing class and that's it, that's the only thing you can talk about with somebody. If they want to talk about other stuff, you can say, hey, I know people that have done it and they've expressed this, but I've never done it, so I haven't had that experience. Let me connect you with somebody that can inform you better. So I want to have the most honest experience possible so that when people decide that they're going to spend money with me, that it has a value that's understood, so there's no surprises here, so they don't come in and expect the world and then I give them nothing. You really want to under promise and over deliver. That is the best way to create a satisfied customer. So don't market to yourself, market directly to your customer. Really break things down to a beginner level, and remember what it was like when you first started, no matter how long ago it was. You've got to have that white belt mentality, because that's going to allow you to express the true value and content of what it is you do. And again, I'm putting this in martial terms, but it doesn't matter if you're a non-martial arts business. If you're a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a retailer, it's the same thing. You've got to bring everything down to its core principles, not the higher educated principles that maybe you have, the years of experience that you have. You have to express that knowledge through having the most in-depth, detailed, specific, applicable, beneficial qualities of initial contact. So a friend of mine is manager of a eyeglass place, and it doesn't matter if he's selling eyeglasses or he's doing personal training. That initial consultation is still the same. It's, what do you need? Okay, what's the goal you're trying to achieve right now in this moment? What are you looking for? Let's figure out what I've got, that's gonna fit that need. So for personal training, that could be a 6-week process. For glasses, that can be a 6-minute process if you communicate it clearly enough. But it's all about communicating, tapping into what they really need, using questions to get what you need out of people instead of sitting there and pontificating all the time. So that's my message for the day. I'm going to finish my coffee and get back to the gym. Hope everyone has a good day.